The Tale of Dan Quan, The Legend of the Bear Woman. Danjun Wangjian or Danjun was the founder of Wangjin, Korea, so this country is also called Danjun Korea, an ancient country mentioned in the legends of the Korean people. Also considered Gojoseon, the first recorded state in Korean history. At this time, both the north of the Korean peninsula and part of northeast China, specifically Liaoning and Jilin, were the territory of this country. Legend has it that the son of the heavenly emperor descended to earth, used magic to turn a female bear into a beautiful woman, and impregnated her. It gave birth to a baby, who was King Dan Quan. There are many legends about the origin of this founder, but the most famous and accepted is the story of Hon Hung, the son of Thien de Hon Nhan and Hung Nu. Because he was one of the youngest children of Hon Nhan's hope of succeeding his father was very small, so Hon Hung proactively asked his father to come down to earth so he could govern his own land and also to avoid conflicts with his brothers. Hon Nhan examined the human world. He looked down to the lower world, and saw that the land from Mount Gai Tai Ba, now Tam Gai Mountain, and Bok Do Mountain, North Korea, was a suitable place to build a kingdom. Humans, he handed over 3 Thien Phu Un, sword, mirror with bronze water drop, and allowed Hon Hung to rule the human world. After that, Hon Hung left the heavenly world to descend to the divine altar tree on top of Tai Bok Mountain, now Bok Do Mountain of North Korea, with his court including Phong Ba, Vu Su, Van Su and 3,000 subordinates. After that, he changed the name then Dan Tu to then T and proclaimed himself Hon Hung Thien Vong. Hon Hung undertakes 360 tasks of the human world such as good and evil, illness, punishment, rice. One day, a tiger and a bear came to see Hon Hung, begging him to help them turn into a human. After listening, Hon Hung gave each of them a bag of chrysanthemums and 20 heads of garlic, telling them that if they stayed in the cave for 100 days and only ate those things, they would be satisfied. After a while, the tiger could not stand the hardships, so he left and only the bear remained to patiently eat it all. After the 100 days expired, the bear turned into a woman called Hung Nu, Unganio. Hung Nu is extremely grateful to Hon Hung. But as time passed, she realized that no man wanted her company, so she went to the sacred sandalwood tree on top of Tai Bok San Mountain and prayed to be granted a child. Hon Hung was moved by Hung Nu's words and decided to transform into a man and marry her. Hung Nu gave birth to a healthy son. That son is Dan Quan Vong Kiem. Wangjian, also known as Tan Quan Vong Kiem or Tan Quan, established the capital as Pyongyang, Pingrang, and adopted the country's name as True Korea, Chaoxian, which is now known as Gojoseon, Gu Chaoxian, to distinguish it from feudal Korea. One day, Tanjin moved the capital from Pyongyang to Asida, at the foot of Baeui Mountain, Baiyushan, now known as Nine Moon Mountain, Juyushan, of North Korea. Afterwards, Danjun ruled Korea for 500 years. In the year of King Wu Wang, of the state of Zhou, China ascended the throne, and Tan Quan abdicated the throne to Gz, and became the mountain god of Asita. At that time, Dan Quan's life expectancy was 908 years old. Dan Quan, the god and source of inspiration in martial arts. Dan Quan's influence. still lasts to this day. For example, among those who follow shamanism in Korea, Dan Quan is revered as a god. A number of movements to worship with Dan Quan have also been launched in history. However, this traditional belief system is said to be practiced only by a small population of Koreans. Another influence of the figure Dan Quan can be seen in the famous Korean martial art Taekwondo. The second kata of the International Taekwondo Federation is named after this legendary figure, Dan Quan, and its movements are said to represent the connection between Dan Quan, Thien, heaven, and the mountain where he became immortal. Finally, October 3rd is known as Foundation Day, and is also a public holiday in Korea, because it is said that this was the day Gojoseon was performed. The army was founded in 2333 BC. Thank you for joining us for today's fairy tale. We hope these stories bring joy and meaning to your day. If you love our channel, please hit the subscribe button so you won't miss any exciting tales. Wishing you a good night and sweet dreams. See you in the next story.